Okay, you're going to be developing about 4 of these color wheels. I hope you can see this on the camera view here. And I wanted to go over some preliminaries, first of all, about how to set up your color wheels for production. So let this suffice for the 4 of them that you're going to be doing. They'll all be the same, they'll all have the same dimensions. Presumably you have already found the center of your board, and you have to get yourself like an inexpensive compass like this. If I didn't tell you to get one in the kit, you can get one of the, I got this at Meijer. It's just a real expensive or real inexpensive school compass. So what I want you to do is to, once you've found the center, place the center of the compass in the middle of the board here. Make sure that you get a good fit. Your first arc or your first line of the circle will be out 3 3/4 inches from the edge. That should correspond to the one that I'm showing you here. And you're, going to draw a line on there. You're going to want to make sure that that line is fairly dark. So you're going to need to pass over it a number of times. And the reason for this is that you're going to want to be able to see that line through the tape, and I'll be showing you that here in just a moment. The next line out from the center that you're going to want to make is going to be at 2 1/8, which is right there. So then you're going to make another arc on the inside of that at 2 1/8. And that should give you both of the lines necessary to create the color wheel. And again, as I said, make sure you draw them fairly dark. Bear down on it enough so that you can see the lines through the tape. Now, the important thing about the tape that I wanted to impart to you, I just got this recently. This is a delicate surface tape that I picked up at Menards. You want something that has fairly low tack, not very sticky. The reason for that is otherwise it'll pull up the surface of your board when you go to take it up when you're done. But there's another way that you can also adjust for that, and that's when you pull the tape off from the roll, purposely put it against your body like this and get some lint off from your clothes. If you're wearing cotton, it's even better. And then when you go to put it down on the board, it'll have less tendency to stick. You're going to end up with a little bit left over on either side. I'll cut another piece here and show you how, what I'd like you to do. Oh shoot, that went up. It has a tendency to want to curl back on itself when you're using it. So anyway, get the lint on it, take the tack down a little bit. Make sure when you put it onto the board that you overlap it a little bit. You don't want it like right butted up against one another, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to create a situation or to minimize the effect of the paint creeping out between where the tape butts up against one another. If you overlap it, that won't happen. So then you're all done. Of course, just cut away the excess along the sides. I'm not going to complete this one because I've got another one over here already done, so that I can speed the video process along a little bit here. But anyway, you get the idea. And this one that I've got here, I drew the lines a little bit darker. And what I want you to do then is to, using your X-Acto knife, very carefully cut away the tape and peel it up from the inside, which will expose the board surface to the color wheel so that you're then able to apply the paint. So again, out from the center, 3 3/4, 2 1/8, cover the whole board with the masking tape, making sure that you overlapped it. I've overlapped it here probably a little bit too much, because I've ended up with a little situation down here at the bottom where I don't have enough. So you should try to measure it out so that you're overlapping the tape about maybe a 1/16 of an inch. And then, as I said, using your X-Acto knife, very carefully trim away the tape, following the lines of the compass that you did. And you don't want to bear down on it too terribly hard. What you're trying to do is cut away the masking tape without injuring the illustration board too much. The other thing that will happen perhaps, is when you do finally go to pull up the tape from the inside and the outside of the circle, any tendency that you've had to bear down on the knife a little bit too much can cause it to want to peel up the board along with the tape when you go to do it. There is a technique though for that as well, and I'll show you that right now without even cutting this one. But when you go to pull your tape off when you're all finished, if you take your tape and you very carefully peel it up at the edge like this, and rather than pull up on the tape, take and pull up, you know, latitudinally with the tape like this. That has less of a tendency to pull the surface of the board up than if you're pulling it up like this. So when you go and you're all done, peel the tape away like that. I will show you later on when I complete the first color wheel here. I'm going to do a demonstration on each one of the color wheels, and as I do that, when I get done, I'll show you how, again, to peel the tape up. Okay? But I wanted this video in place so that everybody knew that all the color wheels will have the same dimensioning and they will all ultimately look like this one right here. This was the one using, this is the first color wheel using the regular primary colors. I'll be demonstrating that here in a little bit, but this is the video on dimensioning for creating the color wheel itself, and all four of them will be the same. Okay? All for now. See you in the next video.